guys, how are you? It's Joe again. Thanks for watching my channel and watching my videos. I would like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, support the messages that I'm trying to pass on as well to the community regarding health, nutrition, some politics here and there, but more or less for health, spirituality, and nutrition. I was just going through, again, if you have time to watch this video, I do highly ask you, or I'm asking you to subscribe to this channel if possible, just to promote more followership. Please share this video if you like it, and I'll try to be posting more videos to build up this channel stronger, to pass on more messages of truth from health and food science, food nutrition, and the availability of real clean food, and healing the body and healing the mind and nourishing the soul. I do also speak about spirituality, specifically more into Christianity and prayer, but also in general the spiritual components of life. And I'll also speak about different situations, whether political or events that we see through our daily lives. And I, as you, a normal person, just going to work right now, and I was looking through Google, and I just typed in food, and the first thing that came up was Wikipedia. And what's going on is they explain a little bit about the need for food to feed the world at the situation that we are currently in. The current state of humanity is the world is rapidly growing. We're almost at, I believe, 7 billion, or we are approaching that number very quickly. And the need for food has to be sort of definitely organized and sustainable, organized and controlled by the World Health Organization, under the guidance of World Health Organization, but at the same time by the food industry throughout the world. And they show you nice, beautiful pictures of fruits and vegetables. Here we have carrots, we have watermelon as a essential, we have fruits here, celery, different types of legumes. We have beans, I believe, there. This is all fine and dandy, but they mention that the food industry should be in control of every aspect of nourishing this world population. I'd have to disagree, because when you look at industry, food industry, we're looking at profits as a number one priority, and not feeding the world. No matter who you talk to, we're in a world, for example, how easy can you trust someone in your everyday life? Right now, if someone came to you and asked for you to loan them $20,000 for business, how ready would you be to loan that person $20,000? Someone you haven't met in your whole life. Now, let's say that person worked for a certain company, a prestigious company, like a bank, and came to ask to you for you to loan them $20,000 for a business project. How reluctant or how ready would you be to loan them that money and give them your trust? Some people might do that, might trust the organization and be ready to trust this person, that there's no way that this person can abuse trust, and it'll be fine. But many people would not. And I think this is the situation with the food industry and many other industries, but specifically food, is why me as a consumer and as a human being that is consuming this food, why should I trust blindlessly these corporations and especially the food industry? I personally don't trust them. Why? because all the pictures that you see here with all these fruits and vegetables, they're either being cultivated with scenarios of spraying heavily with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, treating the soil with biosolids, human fecal matter, heavy metals and toxins. We have glyphosate, just to name the major culprit. And if you look at my other videos, I have talked about the mode of action of glyphosate and how it destroys plants and it affects their shikimate pathway, and it also affects good bacteria, and it promotes pathogenic growth. Now, another thing that we need to consider is that biosolids is a big issue, and I've done my fourth year research at Ryerson University. My thesis was on the effects of biosolid runoff on aquatic biota. It's an ecotoxicology test. And basically, these biosolids are main composition are high in nitrogen, high in carbon, high in a lot of nutrients, but at the same time they're also high in heavy metals, high in parasitic worms, helminthes and whatnot, also viruses, different pathogenic bacteria. And this is a big issue because we're spraying this on our fruits and crops. It's affecting the microbiological composition of the soil. And on the long term, again, this is something that would happen over time. This is not something that's going to happen right away, but this practice has been going on for at least 4 decades in North America of spraying with biosolid sludge. So this image, just like everyone who has waken up from the matrix or from the system, especially recently, the last 1.5 to 2 years, after seeing all of the worldwide events and things happening overnight, these crazy scenarios of people just flying planes through buildings, or people running their cars through events and musical, like all these crazy events happening one after another that practically you would not have seen 30 years ago, or even 20 years ago, or even maybe 15 years ago. Now, this whole picture, the Van Gogh scenario of everything looking nice and fancy has also an alter negative to what we see here. Now, these vegetables and fruits, all of these could be contaminated with what I just mentioned to you from all of the scenarios that we're applying to cultivate these fruits and vegetables on a worldwide scale. This is happening all over the world. It's not just happening in North America. To the least to say, most of these foods are not being promoted in our schools for our children. Our children, when you first get into the school system, our children are being exposed to junk food, whether it's the liking of pizza, which has zero nutritional content in my opinion. It has zero, like basically the flour and dough and processed cheese, pepperoni especially, full of nitrites, damaging, that they can destroy your good gut flora and bacteria. So basically, our children are being raised on liking garbage from when they're young, from pizza to ice cream to hot dogs to fries. Everything that has zero nutritional content, our children are being raised to like, because their taste has been altered in a way for our kids to love those or desire those foods. I have 2 children myself. One is 8 and one is 2.5, and they're both from an early stage. I've been trying to localize, more organic, nutritious food for my children, them loving vegetables and salad. But because the school system promotes pizza, promotes hot dog, and it's also seen in the cartoons left, right, and center, my daughter has grown up not to dislike salad, like not garbage salad where it's like full of chemicals and glyphosate and herbicides and all whatnot, but purely certified organic, from the garden, salad. Her taste, it's about the taste, and she has had health issues, not really health issues, but like signs of nutrition deficiencies, such as, for example, bad breath, or weakness in the legs, or brain fog. So all of these things we see them in our children when they are consuming these garbage foods. To the least, at least, these foods are not being promoted whatsoever in our school system for our children. Our children are not growing up to like or to know the importance of these fruits and vegetables when they are cultivated in an organic fashion, natural, no chemicals, no preservatives, and no biosludge, no garbage being dumped upon them. They're being hijacked to like garbage food, which is going to deteriorate their health, and hence we see the rise of obesity. We see the rise of type 2 diabetes, even in our children. We see we as people have been hijacked, okay, with this so-called food system. And, maybe 100 years ago or 150 years ago, I think maybe 50%, approximately maybe 50% or 60% of us were farmers. Our ancestors were growing their own foods. To the least, they were growing their own foods and not depending on people preparing food for them. Now we're in a society, maybe 1-2% of the population is growing their food, and it's also highly controlled by the industry, the so-called industry, which has our health in their hands, and our health is their priority. But we still see rise in cancer, rise in autism, rise in kidney failure, rise in diabetes, type 2 diabetes, rise in chronic ailments such as Parkinson's disease and dementia, depression, all of those things where a solid, nutritious diet full of the macro micronutrients can fill us and prevent all of these chronic ailments, from rheumatoid arthritis to dementia, and all of these are showing in research, scientific researches, on the long term. Chronic. These are all chronic ailments that are happening. Why don't we come and talk and say, okay, why when our children grow up, they're very active, they reach the age of 20, they're still active, metabolic active. Once they reach the age of 30, whoop, things start to fall down. Testosterone starts to drop, knees start to become frail, they start feeling weak, less energetic. All these things happen at the age of 30 because these issues are chronic issues. They're not happening over a period of 1 or 2 years only. It's not an acute issue. This is a chronic issue happening over a period of 10, 15, 20 years of chronic exposure to toxins in the environment, which are building up in our flesh and in our tissue. And the body can only can take these toxins away at a certain rate. It's an obvious, cause and effect right there. So the fruits and vegetables, do they have to be run and controlled by the food industry? Of course not. Is there supposed to be certain regulations in terms of the food quality? Yes, I agree so. Not just in appearance, not just in the color or the way it looks, but what's actually in our fruits and vegetables. What's the nutrient content? How is it being grown? Are we actually creating things to make us healthy, or are we actually consuming things to make us ill on the long term? Why isn't our fruits and vegetables being promoted in our schools to our children at an early age? We hear it on the television. Oh, you have to eat your fruits and vegetables, maybe in one commercial. But out of that one commercial, 50 or 100 of them are promoting junk food and garbage. What is the motive behind that? Are we trying to make our children healthy and strong and agile to survive? Not just to survive, but to thrive. Or are we actually, playing the game of 2020? We want to make our kids healthy, but at the same time we want to keep them down or make them depressed and sick and feeling all of these negative emotions of depression and sadness primarily because of toxins and because of livelihood. Okay, depression and many other ailments are chronic ailments due to nutrient deficiencies and toxins and parasites as well, which I haven't mentioned in this video. So it's something to think about, that not everything that you see on the table is exactly what we see here in the picture. Healthy, nutritious, and looks very succulent and appealing. There's always a negative image to that, negative fangle, darkness associated with what we're consuming. And the public, millions of people, I think, are still in the blind of not knowing exactly how their food is being prepared and how their food is being cultivated, what's actually going on in the industry, and the gimmicks that are being used to increase profits. But at the same time, we look at, with all of this, health issues have been going up in all domains. I didn't even mention about cancers, but in all domains, everything is going up exponentially since 1999. It's been going on since the 60s, but more since 1999 and onward. So if you like this video, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting this channel. Your support is very important. I do plan to grow this channel more and more, speaking more about different truths and events in life, talking about health issues, work. So thank you for watching this video, and I really appreciate you subscribing and liking. Plus, if you want to share with your friends, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. God bless.